You've reinvented yourself. What do you think you'll be doing on a daily basis? This is a question that I know you've been burning to know what I do every day. So here is your A Day in the Life video. How's it going, reinventors? My name is Amelia Sims. I've been reinventing myself for over a year now. I retired early from the ministry after 20 years, and I have been doing some major changes in my life. And a few months ago, some of you asked me a few questions, one of which is, what do you spend your time doing in retirement? So finally, here it is, a day in the life video that I have produced, and I want to share with you just a little bit of a glimpse of my daily life. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, I recommend just going below, clicking on the red button or this little click me here in the corner and subscribe today. You can also click on the bell, and that means you'll be notified when I upload a video twice a week. So what have I been doing with my time? Now, I have to warn you that I did film this while my family was out of town because it just was too completely complex. And also, one thing I have noticed in retirement that my days don't always follow a particular pattern. So this is sort of what a day would look like. I try to wake up around 5:45 or 6 a.m. I have a cat that wants to wake me up at 5:30. Thank you very much, Manu. And the first thing I do is make my bed. I realized I was having my notes here, and I realized the first thing I do is grab some coffee. No, the first thing I do is go take care of some business, and then I make my bed. And I think I've talked about this before. I recommend, no matter where you are, not even if you're reinventing, you should make your bed every day, because at least if nothing else, you've accomplished one thing, and it really does make a difference in your attitude the rest of the day. I just cannot emphasize that enough. After I've done that, I grab my coffee. Here you see me making some coffee, and then I spend some time in devotional reading, and that includes reading the Bible and a devotional book. I spend some time in prayer, and usually I have some other book. A lot of times it's a secular book or maybe a religious book, and I usually read one chapter a day. In a perfect life, this would be me for 2 hours in the morning, but that doesn't ever happen. I really have to exercise. In fact, exercise plays a big part in my life, whether I'm walking the dog, practicing karate, or even attending karate class. You see me walking the dog, and I have to say that if my dog does not exercise, that it causes some problems in the family because she's very hyper. And now that she has hyperthyroidism, or is it hypothyroidism? I think it's hyperthyroidism. It's even worse. But anyway, like yesterday, I had not walked the dog, and she snarled at one of the cats. So in order to prevent some bad behavior, she has to get exercise. Walking is very important. Exercising for me is important, I think, for everybody. I always eat breakfast. I do best if I walk before eating, because I'm a very slowly digest food, and if I eat, then it's another hour, 30 minutes, something before I can walk. After getting ready for the day, there's time to work on the computer, and this might mean writing a script for a video, doing research, responding to social media, or even just watching a few YouTube videos. And time can really get away from me at this point. Sometimes I go to work part-time at a local fair trade store, and those hours are 10 a.m. to 5:30 or 6 p.m. So I have a little bit of time in the mornings to do some things, but it's never enough to really do something. If I'm home in the afternoons, I usually eat leftovers or sandwich. Then I spend a few minutes reading. I like to say I take a nap, but I usually don't fall asleep, so I sort of a siesta, I guess. Then I do household chores, and have I mentioned I hate house cleaning? But anyway, I tend to try to do too much when I clean, and this is probably why I hate it. I'm a perfectionist, and I try to do everything, and then I get frustrated when things don't work, or I discover something else needs to be cleaned, or something else needs to be done, and then it just becomes just a bad thing. After some kind of house cleaning, or maybe even running some errands, that's catch-up time, usually for this vlog or social media. And again, I have to make sure I don't get lost in cyberspace. Evenings consist of karate or scout meetings or cooking supper. My husband usually does most of our cooking, so that means I clean up the kitchen. And our evenings are heavy on reading, with an occasional family game night or watching something on television. See this video up here if you want to know more about why we one of the reasons why we changed our chairs in our living room is because they were meant to watch TV rather than read, and we do more reading than watching television there. Although I have to say, since my family's been out of town, I watch a lot more television. And I try to get in bed by 10:30, lights out by 11. We have a lamp in the room that goes out about 10:45. So that usually tells me, oh yeah, the lamp's out. It's time to go to bed. Now you know a little bit about how I spend my day. And in the comments below, tell me something that you do every day, or something that you maybe have a morning ritual of some kind, or that you always do before going to bed, or maybe you have a particular bedtime. Let me know in the comments below something that you do on a daily basis. If this video was helpful for you, please be sure to subscribe and share this video. There might be somebody who is struggling with reinventing themselves or making some major changes, or maybe even retiring, whether it's early or late, and they want to know how another retired person spends their day. Don't forget, click on this beautiful face here, not here, but here, if you're interested in subscribing. Have a great one.